Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, and today let's discuss about the most awaited part, and it's Danmachi Light Novel Volume 21. This volume contains the beginning of the final arc of Danmachi, and since it's the beginning of the end, some of you may expect a hype and extraordinary fights. This volume is about preparing and starting the counterattack, and diving into dungeon to save the remaining Loki Familia on the 60th floor. But it's not boring. Actually, this part is very good, where things that haven't been shown will be shown, like all the gods and adventurers are panicking. Some of them want to give up. But Belle did not, and they decide to fight the dungeon with no certainty if they can come back alive. This covers major turning points in the plot of the story. I'm going to give you a brief summary of this volume, but before we start, if you want more of this video, you can check out more of our Danmachi videos on our channel, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support my work and give me a like to support the channel. The prologue begins with the story of Belle, Leon, and Nina returns from the north only to face catastrophic news. Grim revelation of Loki Familia's expedition into the deep floors has failed. It was reported that Ice Wallenstein, the Sword Princess, has vanished without a trace, and survivors are scarce, traumatized, and unable to explain what happened on the 60th floor. The revelation sends shock through Aurario up to the gods themselves, and whispers spread that something unspeakable has awakened deep in the dungeon. The best Familia in Aurario was destroyed. Finn, Riveria, and Gareth are presumed dead. The expedition that dove into the 60th floor never came back. Only a few survived, and the things they whisper, not even the gods can explain on what they witness into the deep floors. One survivor speaks of a being something not human and not monster. It didn't just attack them, it made them vanish, as if reality itself rejected their presence. And Ice Wallenstein, the Sword Princess, is trapped in that hell. As Belle learns about Ice's disappearance and Loki Familia's devastation, he is overwhelmed by guilt. As Lefia's only last hope, Belle is emotionally impacted by the news. He carries guilt, anxiety, and grief. He said that he should have been there when they needed him, but sorrow won't do anything, so he also the resolve to act. Belle driven by both grief and determination, and he rallies with those who refuse to accept that the expedition's failure is the end. Aurario resolves to mobilize its entire army in response, summoning every adventurer, every familia to stand as one. We dive deeper into the survivors' testimonies. While Finn, Riveria, and Gareth are gone dead or missing, and only a few lower-level members made it back alive, and they speak of a monster that wasn't a monster, a divine anomaly. Tension spreads among adventurers. Fear of the unknown, the terror of facing something that could wipe out even the strongest. It seems that survivors was traumatized, so they exaggerated and tell whatever they believe happened. Hephaestus, Hermes, and other gods confront the possibility that something from the Age of Myths has reawakened. Meanwhile, Belle is reunited with Welf, Lily, Makoto, and Haruhime. They're shaken but ready to stand with him, because they all know that Belle will goes down to the 60th floor no matter what they say. Welf begins reforging weapons for the coming war, tapping into ancient secrets to prepare for a battle that may surpass even the Xenos uprising. Belle faces a crisis of confidence. Whether can he really save Ice? He remembers her strength, her grace, and the way she inspired him from day one. But now he must be the one to save her. Throughout all of this turmoil, Belle wrestles with internal pain, the fear of loss, the guilt of being unable to protect those he cares about, but also a burning conviction that if he could fall down, if he could face such dire losses, and still stand, then others can too. In a turning point moment, Belle stands before a crowd of demoralized adventurers and speaks, not with grand words but with raw conviction. His courage reignites something, unity, and he becomes the symbol of hope. While Aurario prepares for counterattack, we get glimpses of the 60th floor. Ice is barely alive, isolated in the dark, and hunted by a terrifying entity. Her thoughts drift to Belle and her familia. She doesn't expect rescue, but her will to survive burns, and her blade remains unsheathed. The volume ends with Aurario's forces marching toward the dungeon's mouth, and Belle stepping forward into the role of Aurario's last hero. Volume 21 is a game-changing shift. It marks the beginning of the series' endgame. It establishes the stakes brutally. Loss is real, many are gone, and Ice's fate is unknown. It sets the stage for the coming war of light versus despair, and Bell must become more than just aspiring hero. He must embody hope itself, rallying the fractured forces of Arario for what may be their greatest battle yet. A big theme here is despair versus hope, how Arario and its people confront overwhelming odds. Even when the situation seems dire, characters strive to push forward, because if Bell can endure, so others can. There's a strong idea of sacrifice, courage, and mutual support. Key turning points are ice, and others being trapped is more than just a setback. It's existential. The dungeon seems to have become more dangerous and more unpredictable. The mobilization means that all Familia, all adventurers, even gods, will be involved. This isn't just a rescue. It's the escalation into something like an all-out battle for survival. That's the end of our discussion, but if you want to goes dive to Sword Oratoria Volume 16, while Main Story Volume 21 is about preparing and launching counterattack, Sword Oratoria Volume 16 contains all of your questions like what really happened to missing members of Loki Familia, and what is currently Ice situation. I suggest that you better not skip that volume. It will be more hype in there than Volume 21. I apologize for this short summary, because I did it so sudden. I even do it first while having some activities, but soon enough I will deliver a full review with full details, and try not to miss any important part.